Hey, sources and recruiters out there. Tony Stemen here, Sourcing and Research Manager at the Novo Group, and I want to welcome you back to another sourcing tips video. Today we're taking a look at another great tool that I use in my sourcing efforts. And if you know me and if you've watched my videos before, you know that there's never enough tools. We're always looking at tools, revisiting tools from the past, and seeing the best practices we can use to obviously do great sourcing and meet the needs of our clients. And today we're taking a look at TheLadders.com, and TheLadders has been around since 2003, and they've recently revamped a lot of things. And so we're going to go ahead and dive in and look at the best practices on how to source the ladders. Now, if you do want to contact me, you can follow me on Twitter, follow my company on Twitter. The info is right there on this page, or also send me a direct email. I'd love to hear from you. Let's go ahead and dive into best ways to source TheLadders.com. So first of all, we have to ask the question, why the ladders? Why should this be a tool that we use in our weekly sourcing operation? Well, first of all, the ladders has been in operation since 2003. It has been a leading job board and resume database, and so it's worth taking a look at. Now, I do have to give props to the ladders because they have reinvented themselves in a lot of ways, and I've actually found a lot of great candidates there recently. Now, initially, they were a site that was a site focused on 100K plus professionals, but in 2011, they decided to expand that and encompass a lot more professional profiles, way lower salary ranges, but still kind of capturing that professional profile. So it still is a great place to go for professionals, but you don't have to be making 100K or higher or have a job that's 100K or higher to go find people here. You can actually go in and encompasses all professionals now, which indeed makes it a lot more applicable and a lot more versatile tool because, for example, I source across multiple industries and multiple levels of professionals, and so now that they've opened it up, it's a lot better tool for me to use. Now, why are we taking a look at this now in 2015? Well, recently they revamped their technology. They now offer improved recruiter profiles, so you can connect with other recruiters, and so candidates can kind of have a great feeling when they're looking at your profile to make sure that you're an experienced recruiter. They've revamped their search. They have new job postings, and they also have a fully functional mobile app. They also have millions of candidate profiles, and a lot of those candidate profiles have been vetted by their professionals. So it's a really great place to go to do some sourcing. So how do you source on the ladders? Well, let's do some getting started. I do promise we will get to a live example at the end of this video. First thing you want to do is head on over to recruit.theladders.com and set up a profile. Once you set up a profile, you're going to go ahead and hit the search tab at the top of the site. Now, on the initial search, there's four main categories that you can put parameters into. The first is job title, second is skills and keywords, the third is location, and the fourth is companies. Concerning a job title, you can just type a job title in. For example, process engineer. No Boolean language needed for the job title category. Now, under skills and keywords, it does accept Boolean language for all you sourcers out there like myself who like that advanced Boolean language. You can actually use it in the skills and keywords section. So I have a nice example for you there if you're looking for someone with continuous improvement or Six Sigma experience. Now, as far as location goes, it has to be in one of two formats. The first format being the zip code. The second format being the city and the state, state abbreviation. So, for example, where I'm from, Columbus, OH for Ohio. Can I get an IO out there? All right, maybe that was a bad joke. But let's go ahead and move on to companies. So as far as companies go, this is a great place if your hiring manager says, I want to target a specific company, i.e. Microsoft, for example. You can type it right into the companies tab, and then you're going to go ahead and click search. Now, you either have to have job title or skills and keywords filled out. You don't have to have both, or you can have both, and so that's kind of nice. If you just want to search by keywords, you can do that, or just by job title. Location, if you don't put one in, it automatically defaults to a nationwide search, but you can do a location with a radius, for example, Columbus, and then any place within 50 miles, and then obviously you don't have to put a company in if you don't have any target companies. So that's the initial search. That'll get you to a list of candidates. Once you have a list of candidates, you can filter down by four more categories: salaries, industries, specialties, and degrees. The salary operates by a slider. It has the ability to narrow to a single salary level or anything or below, above and below a set level, and I'll go ahead and show you an example of that here soon. As far as industries go, there are 6 main industry categories, things like consumer goods or industrial. So if you want to filter by industries, the default is to select all industries, but if you want to filter, you can. And then specialties kind of takes that industry thing to the next level. It actually has 14 categories, and it filters by more minuscule things like HR, law, marketing, things like that. Now, as far as degrees go, as you know as a sourcer, sometimes education levels are a critical part. Education operates similar to salaries in the fact that there is a slider which allows you to narrow to a single education level or anything above or below a set education level. Once you do that, you have a great candidate list. You've used filters, you've used modifiers, and you've narrowed it down to a great candidate list. Some other benefits of using the ladders is you can do saved searches and set automatic email alerts. And so what's cool is that the Ladders new and improved search automatically saves searches for you. So next time you log into your account, you'll see all your saved searches, your most recent obviously being in tabs at the top of the page. Now you can delete some of those saved searches if you don't want all of them, and you also can turn on or off email alerts for when a new candidate appears within the search. Very helpful. You can also save candidates if you like to save candidates within a tool, or maybe you don't have an applicant tracking system. You can create lists based on clients or pretty much whatever you want. Save candidates within a specific list so you can revisit them later, or maybe you want to save them all, then go and download or contact them. You can also download a resume or profile, which I personally use a lot here at Novo because we have a separate ATS, and then I can import those candidates into an ATS system. You can also share a resume if you have a colleague or associate working on a special position and you decide this candidate might be a good fit for them. You can just click share and send them a quick email with a note of why you sent that candidate to them. And then of course you can also contact a candidate. I don't use this feature, but you can send a Ladders type message similar to a LinkedIn InMail or an Indeed resume type thing, and you can actually send an internal messaging which will also trigger an email to that candidate saying you have a new Ladders message, and you can communicate with candidates that way. So that's kind of in a nutshell sourcing on the Ladders. Let's go ahead and dive right into a live example. Alright, so here I am on the Ladders and trying to find my mouse. There it is. You'll see some of my saved searches across the top. I'm going to start out by clicking on the search tab here at the top, and here you'll see job title. So I can do something like marketing manager. Remember, I don't have to use Boolean here. I can click as a recent title or just let all marketing managers come back. Let's do skills and keywords, maybe social media. Remember, this is where I can use that Boolean language, or Hootsuite, which is a social media tool. Let's choose Los Angeles. Remember, I have to do comma, state abbreviation, or zip code. People willing to relocate there, I can click that if I want to, don't have to, but let's go ahead and do a 50-mile radius, and I'll leave the companies blank. When I hit search, it's pulling up my candidate list. It does work rather quickly, which is pretty amazing. You'll see I have over 1,000 candidates coming back, so I obviously want to narrow that down some. I can do specific salaries. Let's do 40 to maybe 70K. Already knocked it down under 1,000. Let's change that to degrees of, let's say, maybe bachelor's to master's, which knocked it down to 447, and there I have some great candidates. And so you'll see how quickly and easily I can search and use these filters in addition to my initial modifiers. You'll see up here it automatically saves my search, and I can turn email alerts on or off. And here I begin to see some profiles, and when you open up a profile, this is what it looks like. We have a full resume, we have contact information, we have kind of a summary over here on the side with some specialties. This person's a marketing manager, obviously with some social experience, which is what I'm looking for. Some of the other features I mentioned I can save, create a new list and save candidates. I can download the resume. I can click on share and share it with an associate. And so TheLadders, I have to give them props. An older job database or job posting board, older resume database. They've completely reinvented themselves. They also have a mobile app, which we'll look at in another video. You can also do job postings. Really, really impressive. Free for recruiters to kind of dive into this and have a great new tool. This is one I highly recommend adding to your sourcing tool belt. As a person who's been in sourcing and research for over 9 years, it's definitely one of those tools that I use frequently now, and I highly recommend it. Once again, this has been Tony, Sourcing and Research Manager with the Novo Group. Thank you for joining me for another sourcing tips video. More to come in the future. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe, and we will talk to you later.